Cedric Maxwell podcast
is brought to you by PrizePicks and the Gametime app.
All right, it's another episode of the Cedric Maxwell podcast. I am Josue Pavon. He is Cedric Maxwell, coming at us from the road to talk about the craziest trade in NBA history, man. Man, what a weekend. I always say this, man. There's no other league that does it quite like the NBA with this shit. I mean, this drama, this unexpected turns and plot twists, and this one is the biggest one I can remember, man. You gotta refresh me. You gotta let me know if there's been something on the long of the same magnitude of this, because I've never seen anything like this, man. Anthony Davis heading to Dallas. Luka Doncic going to LA. The era in Dallas is over for Luka Doncic, man. We're gonna break it down, of course, and talk about your Boston Celtics. You know, this is that type of podcast. One heck of a win these guys are coming off of. Jason Tatum going on a tear, following up that game winner Friday night. But first things first, Max, man, where were you when you found out that Luka Doncic was heading to LA? He's going to be wearing Lakers purple and gold. Can you believe it?
Well, just like I couldn't believe that Snoop Dogg performed for Donald Trump. I couldn't believe that either, though. So
we got to talk about that, too. We missed that one the last episode because between him and Nelly,
Snoop, Soldier Boy, Rick Ross. I was like, damn.
The culture is not happy with those two, but yes.
Man,
yeah, we'll say that for last.
That's your hip-hop generation. Well, let's get back to the trade. I actually was in the bed, about to go to sleep. I got a text from a friend of mine. And he said, "What do you think about the big trade?" He said, "Wow, what a trade!" And he didn't say anything else. And I immediately went to SportsCenter, turned it on, and then here it comes, Luka and Anthony Davis. I was like, "Whoa!"
To drop so many wows.
I mean, it's just so unbelievable when you think about those two guys getting traded for each other. And the more I hear about it, to me. Nico Harris was the general manager?
That's right. Nico Harrison
of Dallas.
If you didn't know who he was, you surely know who he is now.
He is. If he didn't move Jimmy Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, out the hot seat in Dallas and put himself directly in fire, it just goes without speaking.
Those Mavs fans are upset, Max. They are furious.
Yeah. But you know, I think though too, everybody talks about giving up on a young superstar. What does Dallas know that we don't know? What does Dallas know that we don't know? It's like that would be like asking somebody saying something about you, and then I go to your mama and I'll say, "What is it about Josue?" She's like, "Well, he didn't do this, he didn't do this," and she'd go down the line. Well, that's the same thing with the Mavericks. The Mavericks have the playbook on him. They have his health records. They know how he's worked or not worked. They wanted him to be in shape. Michael Finley supposedly takes a beer out of his hand.
I remember that.
And something. And then I was trying to figure, why would somebody take a beer out of your hand? Why would you do that? I mean, if guys are celebrating, I mean, when the Celtics were celebrating, they were drinking alcohol. I mean, they were drinking, tequila. So I don't quite know, but maybe it's a history, something we don't know. Brian Scalabrine, your guy, Brian Scalabrine says, "Luka, you got to be an alcoholic. You got to be doing this." I don't know, but to give up on a young star like that, I don't think we've ever seen that in the NBA. And stars traded for another star. And Anthony Davis isn't in his prime, but he is still he's a long ways from the grave. And to make that trade, to me, it helps Dallas out. And it helps Dallas out. You know what he said is, "I don't want to play center." Why would that be? Because the Joker has kicked his ass every time he's seen him.
Mm.
And so he has to, he
doesn't like to defend the perimeter, Max. That's true.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to play center. Why? Maybe that's it. But gosh, I mean, you're looking at a lot of variables. Take it back. Let's say take this team back 7 years ago, and you had those three players on your team. Klay Thompson, Davis, and Kyrie Irving.
Oh, that's a squad.
I
mean, look, we finally got Davis and Kyrie together. Remember that was the plan for the Celtics once upon a time?
Yeah.
2016? That's almost 10 years ago, though, man. A lot of things have happened since then.
Yes. I mean, those, so that's why to me, but for me, it actually is a good trade in the fact that what Luka gave you offensively, he might give it away defensively on the other side.
Right.
What Anthony Davis gives you offensively, he's only going to increase his value because defensively, he's going to take away something from the opposition. So I like the trade for Dallas. I know people are pissed, but I think this is a great trade for Dallas. I'm not. And the Laker trade?
Come on, Max. Go take off those green glasses, man. Come on.
No. I'm not.
The Lakers. This is a no-brainer, Max. You don't think so? Especially if Dallas calls you, you're not making this trade.
I understand, but I'm still looking at right now, this year. Even look at next year. Say LeBron James plays one more year. How do those two players coincide?
That's fair.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not hating on the Lakers, but how did LeBron James is ball dominant? How many times we've seen him just Luka
right.
trying to go here and
it's redundant,
and those two players need the ball to be effective. How many times you've seen Luka cut to the basket without the basketball? How many times you've seen that moving away? LeBron can do it a little bit better, but Luka doesn't move well without the basketball. So he's ball dominant. LeBron is ball dominant. How do you coincide with those two players?
Yeah, I mean, plus you lose a lot on the defensive end without Davis. I mean, people can say what they want about who he used to be, but he's still an impactful player. He's still an all-star, if you ask me. Look, my thing is, look, I'm not saying this team is significantly closer to winning a championship because of this trade. And I'm talking about the Lakers, right? But I just think when you have an opportunity like this, you already have LeBron in the fourth quarter of his career. Let's say another 2 years, maybe 3, whatever the case may be.
How do you get to the
player to line up for the next generation? Like,
how do you get to the fourth quarter of his career? These are the last 5 minutes. You can get but you like the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Hey, I said the fourth. I didn't say the beginning.
These are the last 5 minutes.
The fourth quarter.
I mean, and I still admire what he's doing as a player. Right. But my God, man, come on. If you go out and say now you lost your best defensive player, you already hurting right now defensively. Who are you going with over there as your best defender right now? Who are you looking at as the guy who's going to defend the basketball? And on top of that, he was a rebounder. So the Lakers to me, I don't, and Luka, I'm a big fan, but you remember last year in the playoffs?
Oh yeah.
When the playoffs began, what was everybody saying about Luka? It was all about Luka. When Dallas was going to play Boston, it was all about Luka. Luka is the best player right now in the series. No. Wrong.
He got exposed.
Was he number 3? Was he number 2? Was he 3? Maybe 4.
3 or 4. If we're being honest, 3 or 4.
The guys, he just didn't perform. He didn't perform well. And somebody told me, well, he carried the team and that. Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit. He didn't.
Everyone's
not.
Talk about the Western Conference Finals. That's what it was, Max. I mean,
what?
Everyone's gonna talk about the Western Conference Finals and the way he went after Minnesota in a big way. They tried to switch him up. He got Rudy Gobert on the switch, the defensive player of the year.
See, we're not talking about offense. We're talking about what he does defensively.
Yeah,
and he was exposed last year as not being a defender. Tatum and Brown and anybody out there took turns with Luka. Luka can score, but he couldn't score to the fact of what was coming at him. So I don't know.
They did take turns, man. Even Derek White, man, they was dancing all over the place.
I love it for the Lakers. I can't wait to go see the James Worthy, his podcast, where how they're gonna spin this. This ought to be really good.
Yeah, shout out to that's another one of our CLNS podcasts right there. I like to see his reaction to this. But no, Mac, I was going to say also from the flip side, right? If you're the Dallas Mavericks, defensively, I mean, you're bigger now. You know, they've proven that they can win against a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who've been sitting on top of the Western Conference all season long. They proved that they can win without Luka, and now you make things even harder for them because essentially the size difference, and especially protecting the paint, they completely stopped the Thunder in the fourth quarter in ways that I haven't really seen. I mean, outside of what happened against the Golden State Warriors recently, but this was on a different level with Lively, with Gafford. You got the shooters. I mean, PJ Washington, I don't know what it is, but whenever he plays the Thunder, he goes off. And like that's the thing. I mean, defensively, you put yourself in another a notch above of where you were before. But in the fourth quarter, when you need a guy to give you buckets, when you need a guy to take over, I mean, is Kyrie gonna be able to do that in the playoffs? Can Klay Thompson turn back the clock? He hasn't shown any signs of that.
Well,
so you move around on the offensive game.
Yeah, and you know what? Anthony Davis can carry the offensive load when he wants to. He has the ability to do that. Somebody asked me, do you think that they're better, that Dallas right now is better than they were last year? I said, yeah, I do. I think they're much better right now defensively. If Anthony Davis is playing, he can close down that basket area. And offensively, and he can address certain issues. Rebounding the ball, blocking shots, running the floor like that. He addresses a lot of issues that that those other guys couldn't do. Because Gafford and those guys were finishers around the rim. They get tap ins, they get dish off or stuff like that. But they could not create their own shots. Anthony Davis can create his. Anthony Davis essentially can take it from baseline to baseline and score with the basketball, or go from baseline to the 3-point line and knock down shots. So for me, I love it for the Lakers. Love it.
We all know what that means on this podcast.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do, because I cannot wait to tune in on James Worthy's what they had to say out there, because I know good and well. You know what they're doing right now? Know what they're doing? Drinking the damn Kool-Aid. That's what they're doing.
They're thinking about the future, I guess, in some regard. But I don't know about the present, man. They got to figure this thing out. But look, before we get into, I want to get back into Nico. Quick shout out to PrizePicks.
This episode of the Cedric Maxwell podcast is brought to you by PrizePicks, the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks, and right now with the big game just around the corner, it's now or never. Do not miss out on this great deal that is only going to happen between now and the big game. All right, it's the best place to win cash while watching the big game. PrizePicks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes will need just to throw 1 yard to win. That's it. One. Easy, right? If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you win real cash. Check out the promo tab to tail any of our super sweet Millie winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of $1 million in promo funds. Download the app today. Use the code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. CLNS is the promo code. Download the app. And you get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
Now, back to your boy Nico. I mean, this is the thing about the Supermax era and this new day in the NBA. All right, we knew going into this era that the NBA wanted to stop having super teams, and this did it in a big way, whether it was with the second apron or guys getting their max money. Someone like Nico looked at Luka and said, "We're not giving that guy max dollars," And this is something that's going to happen again in the future. So it's interesting because I don't think this will be the last. But for someone of Doncic's caliber, it speaks volumes as to who he is as a player. Maybe it's a character thing, like you said, or what you and Scott were saying.
They have opened up the vault. They've opened up Pandora's box. When you can move a player like that, then all bets are off, man. All bets are off. Yeah, I remember somebody was making a reference to me about, it was kind of cruel though, but they were talking about They were hitting me off with Ime. Oh my God, he was hard with it. And then the girl told me, said, shit, Neil Long can't keep nobody? What the rest of us gonna do? What the hell what the rest of us gonna do?
Right.
She can't keep one. Damn fine as she is. Now what's the result? I mean,
every girlfriend was holding their boyfriend tight after that. Like,
yeah,
damn, you better not be messing around on me, right?
Yeah. So now I look at this league with all the superstars, all of them. Everybody right now, unless you got a trade option like Bradley Beal, you can be moved. We just saw the Aaron Fox who said, hey, I don't want to play anymore. I want to go to San Antonio. Where'd he end up? San Antonio. Jimmy Butler now saying, I only want to play right now in Phoenix. I will not, even if Golden State wants me, I will not sign an extension. What? Dude, wherever they want you at right now, you should be like marking that paper up easy. He
said, look, don't even think about sending me to the Golden State Warriors. I'm good. I ain't signing after this year. Yeah.
I mean, I think you got to look at, also got to look at your basketball life. And I know you have confidence in who you are, Jimmy Butler. But man, you cannot, that essentially like, the guy when you've seen it before, when a guy is painting a gym floor and he paints it and he gets to the corner and he realized that the door isn't behind him and he's painted himself into this really small box unless he's going to mess the floor up. Jimmy Butler's painting himself into that really small box. That doesn't make sense to me. Makes none.
Yeah. Did they strike a deal with Phoenix? Is that going to be the ending here?
I don't know how.
Kevin Durant. I mean, look, new report from Jake Fisher is that Yahoo's Jake Fisher that that's what the Phoenix Suns are doing right now. They're shopping him around, and some people are looking at Miami saying, "Hey, there you go. It was a few million off, maybe throwing a player or so, a couple of picks to sweeten the deal, and it's done." But neither team improved significantly, right?
Well, does Jimmy Butler want to go to Phoenix without Kevin Durant there? Does he want to do that?
Probably not.
So I mean, it's
the way he envisioned it. Probably
it's an ugly catch-22. Kevin Durant was the poster boy for this trade for me. They showed him sitting back in a locker, and he was just shaking his head like, what?
Right.
I guess we all could be traded. And so with that, I think that again, the whole NBA trading block has been open since these two star players, two of the best players in the league, have gone for each other. Mm-hmm. Josue, even you did not know anything about it. You didn't, with your secret camera, you still didn't get in there and get the info like, damn, Nico, that's major. But you know who knew? You know who did know about it?
Who?
Danny Ainge.
Yes, man. Imagine you're the guy who's putting up those picks. You're putting up those picks, and you're like, wait, that's what you guys are doing this?
We got to call Danny. Danny's gonna have somehow put himself in the middle of this thing, and Danny's done that. I mean, Trader Danny lives again. So
he got a couple of second rounders too, man. Danny loves them second round picks.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't give up a stack of those for a significant player. Remember once upon a time? Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, the Mavs fans are going crazy, man. It went from emotional, and I mean emotional, like there were people crying in the Luka jerseys, surrounded by 6 different versions of Luka jerseys. As one kid, you had people outside the arena. They had caskets, Max. They're trying to bury this team. It's like they're protesting. On Instagram, over 800,000 fans unfollowed the team.
Damn.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, did you like they get recovered from this on the basketball court, but like how long is it going to take for the fans to accept it?
Nobody's going to get over this because it was a young star and you felt like you were growing with him. If you were a Dallas Maverick fan, he comes to you at 18 years old or whatever, and you see him flourish into one of the best players in the league, and all of a sudden you say he's gone? I mean, I don't even know. if I'm Nico Harris, I got some damn security around me someplace. Because you said it, and I believe it. There's some
My boy said he better be carrying.
Angry people out here.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. And there's reports saying that he was emotional about it. They didn't know. His father's upset about it. We got, what was it? Chandler Parsons, I think, was the one that said that he heard that he was emotional about it, but was very distraught. And, it's interesting too from Anthony Davis' perspective. Remember Anthony Davis' dad saying that stuff about what the Celtics did to Isaiah Thomas, and how, like, man, how could you be so cold and you trade a guy like that? How he feels about this, given that Anthony Davis was able to help these guys win a championship in 2020, and now he goes out to Dallas just like.
Well, how about that Chandler Parsons? You're saying him. That's the same one that said that Luka was better right now than Larry Bird. It's 2 or 3 times better than Larry Bird. So I'm not sure how we're going to take what he's saying. What you have to understand, Josue, and anybody who listens to this podcast, it just shows you what the NBA is. It's a business.
Business, man.
Red Auerbach said it. He didn't buy it with his words, though, but he said never fall in love with the product. Might have to trade it. He traded me, but he had a chance to trade Larry, and he had a chance to trade Kevin McHale for Detlef Schrempf. I want to say
Sam Perkins, right? Some picks, yeah.
And Danny Ainge ended up questioning Red about that. And Danny said, I would have pulled the trigger. That
was the day I knew. I was like, this dude's going to trade Garnett and Pierce one day. Like, the moment he said that, it was like, hey, guys, get ready. Because when these guys are done, or when I decided they're done, don't be shocked when I trade them and they're not retiring.
Look, Danny Ainge gave the organization the gift they kept giving. And this is what you can say. You got Tatum. Why did you get Tatum? Because of Danny Ainge trade. Why did you get Brown?
Brooklyn.
Danny Ainge trade.
Another Brooklyn pick.
Yeah, yep. Danny has done his diligence when it comes to moving guys around and all that stuff. Yes.
You know what people calling that, Max? They're calling that one of the worst trades that could have ever been done for the Nets. Like, the Nets gave away all those picks without really thinking about what those could have translated to, or what it could turn into, instead of trying to make a quick fix and put a super team on the fly like that, the way they did. So,
wow, you're right. I mean, that's what they're saying. It's unbelievable.
All right, Celtics, man, what a win! What a win down in Philly. What was it like down there, man? Those Sixers fans must have been awfully quiet by the end of the fourth quarter. 26-point deficit. The Celtics overcame 118-110. Jason Tatum going off in the second half, and Joe Mazzulla telling these guys at halftime, "Look, if you guys don't want to play, man, I can get the end of the bench crew. We can just call it a night. We pack the plane up. We can just go on to the next city if you guys don't want to play." And Tatum said that was the spark going into that second half. But of course, man, they couldn't have done it without him, man. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Mazzulla did what he they looked like they were dead to rights. Derek White couldn't hit any shots. And then finally, he relaxed.
Yeah.
Relaxed. And then started just taking the shots. He's been rushing those shots. He knocked down 2 or 3. And then it was Brown. Then it was Tatum. Then they just kind of went back and forth. Porzingis was big. But they shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. To get down by 26 points to a team that was led essentially by Tyrese Maxey and the band.
Yabusele was balling, man.
Yeah, all those other guys he didn't have. So yeah, that's pretty wicked when you think about it.
I love seeing Tatum take his time and just burying the Pelicans' heart on the Friday night TD Garden, man. Man, they thought they had a victory over the Celtics. Like, that was great. I mean, I know this dude balled out the way he did. Man, I mean, I didn't expect that from the Pelicans, going down the stretch the way they did, keeping things close. Even Alvarado had 20 points, but with Murphy the third having the game of his life, wasn't enough. But man,
it's not the game of his life, Josue, because last time Murphy had the same thing in Boston. He had 36 in Boston the last time.
That's true. What was it, 8 threes? But yeah, okay, that's true. He did have that before.
He is averaging right now, in 2 games, he's averaging about 38 points a game against the Celtics. So I wasn't that lucky about that one at all.
I mean, game of his life. I don't mean like he's lucky, like he wasn't like. But yeah, okay, I got you. I mean, the 8 threes, especially that last one that went off the glass. This is his night. It's like shit.
Yeah, that part is true.
But that resilience from the Celtics, man, like that's what Celtics fans want to see more often. Obviously, there was a couple of games here and there that people start thinking, man, this is the championship hangover. But no, you come back in the second half, you show them why you're the champions, and all of a sudden, people start talking about, oh, could this team repeat or not, or at least doubting that they can. And Tatum has a big part to do with that, whether it's right before the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. This is around that time of the season when he starts to just take it up another notch, and that's what he's doing right now. So that's big.
They have to do it. They have to do it because this team has been so up and down and inconsistent, not consistent, inconsistent. So we'll see how they battle back here. These next 5 games that they have, 5 games in 7 nights. That's going to be huge. I mean, going into the All-Star break. I almost wish Jason Tatum could get away from basketball for a week and then just Celtics going to have to find a way to get him rest too. But
that's true.
Now he's in a position of going to the All-Star game. You got 5 games. The games you have right now, you have Cleveland tomorrow. You go home, you play. I don't know what Dallas is going to be like, but you got Dallas on Thursday. Then you go to New York. You got New York. You play them. You play Miami. And then the big Frenchman comes in just before the All-Star break. So these 5 games in the next 7 days are going to be the metal is going to hit the road.
This episode of the Cedric Maxwell podcast is brought to you by Gametime. It's the NFL playoff season, and you don't want to miss out on some classic historic moments with Gametime, okay? Because Gametime will make sure that you not only get great tickets, but also make sure you get exactly what you're looking for, all right? Gametime has a new feature called Gametime Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier, all right? We're talking about filtering out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. Best value, all right? And right now, for the NFL football playoffs, I mean, we're talking about some of the memories that you'll never forget. All right, I never forget, man. It was freezing cold. All right, watching these Patriots, the good old days, and my beer turned into slush. But guess what? I was still having the time of my life, and I'll always tell that story because it was an historic night, and you can make countless memories with Gametime. All right, with some of the best deals around. Gametime also has Gametime Picks. All right, curation makes it easier to find better value for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. All right, you got the all-in pricing. All right, this feature shows the total upfront. You got none of those surprise costs at checkout that make you think, man, why did this price just double? No, Gametime keeps it 100 with you. It tells you exactly what you're paying for, and you get that panoramic view from your seat in the app before you actually buy. Not to mention the fact that Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference if it's not the lowest price guaranteed. All right, that's how confident these guys are. So
download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime.
Right, man. You're going up against the Anthony Davis in a new uniform and De'Aaron Fox in a new uniform. They both have, plenty to prove in their new situation. So I can't wait to see how that plays out against the champion Celtics. But last thing, man, you mentioned it, man, the backlash that my guy Snoop is getting right now, and Nelly. But Nelly's getting on a different level. And I know you would appreciate this, especially because of what he was trying to make up for the fact that he's saying, oh, man, like, this is just part of the thing. This is part of being a patriot. I mean, look at the people who are in the Army and the Navy. You think they want to go and do the things for their country? No, this is me. You're not serving your country here, Nelly. You're going up there doing some concert. What, 3-4 songs? You taking a bag of cash, man. Just call it what it is. You taking a bag of cash.
That was one of the things
at the inauguration.
There was a gentleman who broke it down. He said Nelly, for him to say that, Snoop to say that, and Snoop even more so. I think it was 2017. He said, if any of you, like, love this, any of you niggas get up here and take this, I'm going to roast your ass.
You're cooning or something like that, right?
Cooning. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, boss, I'll do it. And then you turn around and do exactly what
Snoop forgot about the receipts, man.
Yes, them things are out there. Snoop, come on, man.
And this wasn't 20, 30 years ago, Mac. This was like last time he was.
Yes.
Last time that was
Yes.
had an inauguration, man.
Yes.
Twitter will go back to the early, early 2010s or late 2000s if they have to.
Snoop,
Fans, don't forget, man.
Snoop, you lost your damn mind. That's what you did, and your integrity in the. I don't know if you're ever gonna get it back. I don't know. I mean, I can't go into a man's pocket and tell him what money he needs or what. I don't know.
But Max,
I just know Snoop was on the highest of highs. He leaves. He's doing the Olympics.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. And he got a bag, Max. He got a bag out there in France.
Everybody was oh, hell, Snoop. And now you're going to LA and this is your Snoop's backyard. You know that NBC is going to line you up. Dude, this was a horrible, horrible business decision. No less about your community, but this is a horrible business decision. For you to go out and do what you did in Trump land with people. And the gentleman said, he said, it's not about you. He said, it is about you, but he said, it's about your mama. It's about your sister. It's about your child. It's about your whole community that, gosh, I don't even want to get into it, but it's just, I just, for you to say what you did and come back and do what you did this time. And you said there are receipts in 2017.
16. I think it was 16 or 17.
There is Snoop Dogg on camera talking about the coonery that people would be doing and what he'd do to them if they went to Trump's inauguration.
Right.
And be damned if you didn't go out and do exactly what you just roasted people on.
Crazy. And let's be honest, you think those Republicans and people who are attached to it, you think they would vibe into Snoop's music? Man, I don't know what the set list was, but come on, you think they're sitting there rapping along? And they don't know.
Elon Musk. I love what he said.
You think Elon's in there rapping juice word for word?
There's a new vibe around here that's going down. There's a new vibe. It's like, damn, Snoop. And it's real funny. Anybody who, and I was out in LA and I was there was a guy who looked like Snoop and I said, yo, what's up, Snoop? He said, man, don't call me that right now. He said, there's just too much. And I didn't know the backlash, which was behind it until the other day. So man, I don't even know what to say about my brother. That's just crazy as hell. But guys, we want to thank you for, tuning in on us and tuning in with us, and we got some more contents, man, because this whole NBA, I think before the trade deadline is gonna blow up.
Next episode coming up soon. Trade deadline just around the corner. Like Max said, plenty of content, man. So stay tuned. It's the Cedric Maxwell podcast. We'll see you guys next episode.
Josue Pavon here, CLNS Media, and if you made it this far, that means you really like this video. So hit subscribe, make sure you keep our notifications on, damn it, and we got plenty of great content coming your way.